Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be covering the correct way to use the second man press, which, when done properly, makes it almost impossible for your opponent to score. This information I'm about to give you is gold, so make sure you stick around until the end, as I'll be explaining a technique to use for anyone who's struggling. So the key here is not to overcomplicate it, which many people tend to do. Remember how I always talk about being at least one step ahead of your opponent. This applies here. The secret to using second man press effectively is to cover your opponent's most obvious pass, or most dangerous pass, or the space in which you think your opponent will go, while simultaneously using second man press to put pressure on the ball carrier. What this will do is hurry your opponent, as they will not know which player you are controlling. They just panic because they see a player running towards them, so their attention is turned towards the player carrying the ball instead of their next pass option. Then what happens is they will rush and make the last pass that they see was on. But what they don't see is your player, who you have moved into a position to intercept or tackle, and this applies whether you are pressing your opponent's back line or defending in your own box. It's all the same. I've seen many people talking about keeping your back line together at all times. While this is not completely wrong, it's more of a general rule. Not an absolute must, because as you know, FIFA is played at a pace where you have to think and react almost instantaneously to what's happening on the pitch. And to give yourself the best chance of doing that means you need to be thinking ahead of what's taking place at any given moment. And sometimes that requires you to shift players into positions to be able to stop what your opponent is trying to do, regardless of where on the pitch you are. So watch the clips over and you will get an understanding of how I move my players, and by doing it this way, it's inevitable that I will win the ball back without having to try too hard. At the beginning, I said I had something for anyone who's finding it difficult. So a method I can suggest if you're struggling is to start off by only using your outside players to press as the second man. And by that I mean you control your central midfielders and center backs to cover the passes into the middle of the pitch, whilst using the wide players and strikers to press as the second man. Practicing this first will help you. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Now one last thing. If you learn anything from the videos, consider a like and subscribe, as I will know you specifically like this type of content. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll try to respond to each and every one of you. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.